Yeah.
You can take an African out of Africa, but you can't take Africa out of African. Boomerang.
Greetings, everybody.
Don't let 'em kill your buzz.
I am Baba Makanjuola, and this is Change Your Mind. We are here to help you to modify your Ori and to get on the right tracks with the razor life that you seek. I am Baba Makanjuola. I want to say greetings and thank you for attending today. And I want to say thank you for watching this video. And before we get going, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that. So when you be getting new videos uploaded, you'll be the first to know about it. All right. So here we go. Disclaimer on this presentation. I really hope that people do not take this message the wrong way, because it wasn't meant and it's not intended to be offensive, but it is intended to be informative and also to be truthful and honest. There's so many fairy tales and lies that are being told and sold, literally sold, to the people in the diaspora for the most part that I know of. I can't speak on the continent, but I can definitely speak for the diaspora. Regarding Ifa, it's a whole lot of stuff being said, done, transactions, monies being exchanged for very little information and understanding, very little support thereafter. It's a lot of stuff going on with this thing we call Ifa in the diaspora. So, that's the title that I have today. Orisa has become the new Jesus for us in the diaspora. Again, I can't speak on the continent, can't speak for that. I do know a lot of them over there do still practice Christianity, and that's up to you. Ifa is not one of those, jealous practices from my understanding where, do this or else type of deal. But for the most part, in the diaspora, and what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that people are literally praising Jesus at the same time of doing Ifa. That's not what I'm saying, to be clear. What I'm saying is the concept that we came out of Christianity and that colonial concept, we've taken and migrated into Ifa, and now we've implemented those same things. And basically the structure of how the information is being distributed is the same concept of Christianity in the church. And this right here is the number one issue that I have with the teachers and the gatekeepers of Ifa for the people in the diaspora. And that's what I want to talk about today. Now, I'll just give you a backdrop on me. Again, I was initiated 2018, hand of Ifa 2014, and I came into the Ifa practices. I committed to be a follower of Ifa around 2009, 2010. It took me a minute to get to the initiation processes because I really wanted to try to get a grip on this and get an understanding as much as I could. And I really wasn't able to get a lot of information because, like I said, there's gatekeepers of this information. And throughout my process, particularly after my initiation, I really began to understand more about Ifa. And that understanding came by people releasing me or releasing their hands off of my understanding and teachings, and me just sitting with it and speaking to Ifa, learning, taking everything that I already gathered, the little bit of information that I did have, gathering it, and then living my Odu out and figuring it out and making a connection with Ifa and Olodumare directly. So with that being said, as a foundation, this is the reason why I say Orisa has become the new Jesus. Let's just take the structure of this thing real quick. First and foremost, I wrote a bunch of notes. That's why I got my glasses on, because I wrote a bunch of notes because I don't want to miss anything. I want to make sure I touch every point that I feel about this. All right. So first and foremost, the Ile is the new church, and it functions that same way. Same dramas as you have in the church, you have in the Ile. Same jealousies and all that stuff that you have in the church, you have in the Ile. The same lack of information you have in the church, you have in the Ile. The same lack of complete understanding of this thing that you have in the church, you have in the Ile. The Ile has become the new church. The chief of these tribes we call Ifa are the new bishops. They're looked at like they are just almighty, almost God walking on earth. The new chiefs are the new bishops, the all-knowing of information, the most educated in this thing. The leaders, the true leaders of this situation are the chiefs that we all know. The Aluos has become the pastors, the ones who does the chief's work for them. The pastors, the one who does the bishop's teachings and learning up under that bishop is the new Aluo. The Aluo is the new pastor. And that Aluo is definitely very important because he does a lot of teaching, does a lot of the work, the initiations, the dafas, the elbows. He's learning a lot and coming back and supposed to be sharing a lot. But that's where the ball gets dropped to me in this chain of command. Now the Awo has become the new deacon. He sees people, greets people, helps people, but he's training. He's trying to learn what the Aluo knows. But he can't really connect too deeply with the bishop or the chief. He has to go through the Aluo for the most part. So he's the guy with the white gloves and, and the white shirt, and he's helping people holding the chickens and helping with the elbows and doing everything else and devoting his time to all the work just to learn. Now, the Dafa is where you tithe. It's the new tithing. It keeps hope alive in the Ile. It's the tithing part of this whole thing. I won't go too far into that, but all Dafas cost money, and that's a way of tithing to where you can keep getting information from the Awo, the Luo, not necessarily the chief, because not too many people that's coming to get a Dafa is ever going to see a chief or talk to him, let alone see him. All right? So, but Dafa keeps hope alive. Now, the Elekes, I don't have my other ones, but the Elekes, and the Elekes I'm talking about includes your warrior package, which I call the Ifa starter kit. The Elekes includes your warriors, all that stuff. The Elekes have become, and the warrior package starter kit has become the new cross. So people walk around with this Elekes on like they got a cross on, like, we are about our God. We are about our deities. Just like a person from church on a Sunday morning, fresh off of Good Friday, walking around with that cross on their chest, like, their God is all knowing and all being. It's a lot of people in Ifa walking around with these Elekes on. Whew. Like, I'm protected. I got my Shango on me. I got Ogun I got a shoe with the cross. I got my warriors on. I got my package. I got my protection. What? We're going to get more into this in a minute. I'm just going through the structure right now. Now, the elbow to me is where we come to repent. Because after we get the information and the understanding of this Dafa reading that you just got, you got to come back and do this elbow. And that elbow is where you come back and you do your repentance and your admissions and your prayers and giving it back to the spirits and helping you out so you can make those changes that has been predicted in the Dafa process, right? So now it's time for you to repent, be sorry, say your prayers, and do your offering and let it go, right? Elbow is the repenting process. Now, the initiation, which is very interesting. If you haven't done it yet, I do definitely recommend it for you. But the initiation process is the ultimate baptism. the ultimate baptism, okay? It's a 3, sometimes 5-day process, but it is the ultimate baptism. You know, you got baptized and you came out and everybody thought you was all new and you were reborn, but that's what initiation is. It's your rebirth, right? So you're supposed to be starting fresh, and they tell you to go now initiate yourself after initiation. It is the baptism, okay? It is the baptism. Now, let's get to the main attraction here, the Orishas. The Orishas are like the angels in Christianity here. They're going to come and save you and take all your trauma and your dramas away, your troubles away, all of that. They're going to take it away. They're just going to get rid of it. And they're going to just come in miraculously, magically, and take all of your troubles away. Not true. And this is the concept. This is why I'm giving you the breakdown, because I want you to see how the structure is laid out. Now tell me, after I just laid this structure out, do you not see how reflective this structure is to Christianity and the church? But that's okay. Listen in. If you don't see it, keep going. Listen a little bit further. So now, the Orishas are your angels. What happens after your initiation, your dafa, your repentance ebo? What happens after that? Do you change? Do you become a different, more different, closer to any of the Orisha, let alone Olodumare or Rumala? Like, do you come closer to anything that you have ever heard about any of these deities in this tradition we call Ifa? Meaning, does your character change? Or do you stay the same? I was surfing on YouTube yesterday, just kind of researching, trying to see what's out there on YouTube for Ifa information. Because sometimes you just want to watch some good Ifa information. You don't want to have to watch a church show to get some messages out of, because there's not enough people telling some good information about Ifa out there. So I was just doing some searching and looking around, and I saw some tragedies on YouTube. People just have dressed butt naked, talking crazy, be this, N-word that, just craziness. And at the same time speaking about a Oshun and a Shango and our different deities and Ifa, and you can't control me. I do what I want to do. If you do what you want to do, you're in the wrong practice, because Ifa is not about you. I'm telling you, y'all. It sounds like somebody in the church. And some church people sound better than this. We've truly made Ifa the new Jesus. We've made Orishas the new Jesus. It's amazing to me. Now, if you are the same person after devoting yourself to Ifa, basically all you're doing is looking for these Orishas to be Jesus and to save you from yourself. That's crazy. Why would you go to something that's supposed to be traditional and ancestral and look for the same colonial fix? I think I have an idea why. Now, about 90 to 95% of the people that I have run into throughout this diaspora that claim to be in this thing we call Ifa are uninformed and misinformed, miseducated about what Ifa truly is, let alone what the position is of an Orisha. Now, let me make this clear before I go further. I don't want anyone to feel like I am against Orishas. They are a part of the system of Ifa. I understand that, and I hope that you can hear that in my voice. They are a part of the system of Ifa. They are a necessary part of the system to aid human beings here living a physical 3D presence on earth. They're assistants. They're going to assist us. They're not going to do for us. And that's where it feels Jesus-like. See, most people in Jesus' world think that Jesus is going to hop out the sky, save the world, come into your life, save you miraculously. And it hasn't happened in over 400 years of having this colonial mindset shoved down your throat and forced into your community and your way of life. It hasn't happened then, and it's not going to happen. And I'm scared because this thing that we call Ifa, people are taking that same colonial mindset and using it with the Orishas. Because they have Elekes and warriors on, they feel like they're protected from their own craziness. It's not true. And again, 90 to 95% of the people that I've seen believe this. It's amazing. They can curse you out in a minute, call you, want to fight you, talk crazy, make music about just derogatory stuff, and then throw an Orisha in there and act like because they got Elekes on, they're protected. Most of them not even initiated technically. Maybe a hand of Ifa. Maybe. But they're not even initiated. It's scary, man. Now, on the flip side of that, the same stats though, 90 to 95% of Babalaos and the gatekeepers of this information really don't like a lot of the people in the diaspora, but it makes money. Therefore, they're okay with you initiating into an Orisha first before you get Ifa. Now, I want to give y'all a little hot gem here. The only Orisha that did not initiate into Ifa is Osayin, which is the herbalist deity. Every other Orisha that everybody claims to praise so much is initiated to Ifa. Why would you not initiate to Ifa when your life path destiny is based upon Ifa initiation? A lot of people are running around here because they got initiated to an Orisha like that. Odu is their life path. And it's not. It's called Ifa, not Orisha. Again, miseducation. Now, once you initiate into Ifa, it's okay. Go ahead and get some different additional assistance initiations to Orishas and Irumales. It's cool. But that's the part that I'm saying that these Babalaos are not telling you. Because it makes a whole lot of money for them. Do you know how many people I get in my DMs just trying to get me to do spells and initiate and do work? My ancestors are calling their name and they should do some work for me. They feel like, who told you to do that? From what I learned, it is not right or not. It's unethical for you to be seeking out people and soliciting business in that way or new clients in that way. But they're doing it. I just so happen to know better. And I know a lot of people who have gotten caught up in that because, again, the lack of information and education, the misinformation and education of how this thing actually works. So it's easy for people to become susceptible to these vultures out here. Because just like the church, Ifa, Ilays, initiations, it's more of a pay to play at this point. If you pay, you can get what you want. Now, I'm not saying stuff is supposed to be for free. Don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of information that has to be distributed to people that if you did it for free, a person can go broke. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to pay for the truth of Ifa. You shouldn't have to pay to just get a basic understanding of what you're doing. Where's the pre-initiation conversation? No one has that with you. They just tell you, oh yeah, Ifa says you can get initiated. Yeah, you can get initiated. How much? Okay, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000. And that's it. Some people I've seen have come home from initiations with nothing but a memory. They don't have Ifa. They don't even have a bead. They don't have anything but a memory of, and a basic and a foggy understanding of what their Odu even says or what it even is. Calm down, Baba Makanjuola. All right. Let me say this. We have people out here desperate for an alternative to this colonial nightmare that we call Christianity, and to a degree even Islam. We have people out here that are desperately seeking to get from under this colonial way of life spiritually, and trying to come back to something that most of us feel was something our ancestors truly celebrated, experienced, and lived prior to this colonial captivity we call slavery. This is the part that breaks my heart, because I'm that same person. I came into this, I was in the church and I was in Islam, and it did not resonate with me. And when I sat on the mat for that first time in 2009, Ifa just captured my attention. I just felt like I was at home. That lost feeling that I had, I didn't really feel too lost anymore. I feel like I had found what I needed to do. That blissful ignorance, I felt like this was a place that I can kind of begin to replace that with understanding of what I am really here and supposed to be doing, and what my people actually once did before this colonial nightmare came. And it helped me to see that it's possible for me to stop chasing the impossible. You see, in the colonial mindset, you're chasing the impossible. You're chasing something to come and do something for you that you feel you can't do yourself, because how you're taught is that your understanding is no good. Do not lean on your own understanding. They even told me that in E5 a few times, like my comprehension skills are just that low. I've heard that in E5 a few times. Chasing the impossible transitions into E5 and looks like chasing the impossible of an Orisa or an Ebo, an initiation, to change the way you have been experiencing life. The difficulties in your life, the challenges in your life, even the great moments in your life, to either enhance the great moments or shift the not so great moments. It helped me to see that that's impossible. In my early years of Ifa, I was just as desperate. I must have did 100, 200 ebos in my lifetime. And those ebos did help me and protect me technically from myself for the most part. But they did help me, but they didn't change me. You see, unlike the church, Ifa has one secret tool that tends to get swept up under the mat, not the rug, but under the mat. You know, after the dafa is done and the elbows are done and everything, they sweep this part up under the mat just in case you get too smart. Like it gets swept under the mat. They may even mention, oh, well, I'm putting this over here. What is that? Oh, that's just show Ori, but don't worry about that. The secret sauce is your Ori. You see, not much is really taught or paid attention to in this diaspora practice of Ifa. Again, I'm not going to speak for Africa like I've been there 100 times. I'm not going to do it. But as far as this diaspora, understanding, some people know they've heard of it, they've heard the concept, they've done all that type of stuff, but they truly don't know what Ifa, the Ori, is and the power of Ori. They don't know what the power of Ori truly is in the cosmology of Ifa. They don't really know what that is. They just heard of it. I'm here to tell you today that Orishas are not Jesus. They can't change anything for you. And they won't, but they will help. Your Ori is the Jesus you're actually looking for, because that's what's going to change it for you. Now, the Ori process is a lot more difficult. I will admit to you, trust me, it is a difficult process, especially once you've had 30, 20, 40, 50 years of programming in the wrong direction, that now you have to try to unwire that programming and help yourself. It is going to be tough. I remember when I first got initiated and I had a chance to sit down with Chief, and I asked him, I was really struggling with this concept of what I needed to do. I didn't know what that meant. They kept telling me, don't be angry, don't be this, don't be that. And all I can think about is where I came from, my environment of South Central Los Angeles, where I came from. And that's an angry environment. You have to be angry to a degree to survive it. So I'm telling him, so you're telling me basically I need to stop and remove what I've learned my whole life? And he looked at me and said, yes, and didn't say another word. That was completely technically it, all the advice that he gave me. And I was like, really? How do you do that? I never got that answer. I never got a remote close to an answer, right? But that was cool though, because what happened was I went away and I figured it out on my own. Not on my own, but figured it out. Ifa blessed me with the downloads, blessed me with good people to come around me and to share some information with me. And then I began to learn that, yeah, I respect Orishas, but they are not gods, and they can't change it for me. When I learned that the Ori is second in command on this earth for me and people alike, under Olodumare, Ifa is the system put together to hold all this stuff together to help the people on earth. The Orishas are part of the helping process. It just all made sense. So now if I'm angry, and my Odu even says it, it's not the activity of the person, it's what's rooted in that person's mind that needs to be corrected. It's the roots of that person in the mind. The Orisha has nothing to do with that. Your experiences are recorded in your mind, and Orisa has nothing to do with that recording process. They didn't press play one time or record. Your experiences are here, which are programming you, how you react, you respond, you speak, you teach, whatever it is you do. How the world experiences you is recorded here. Now you asking an Orisa to go in your mind, change your mind. I know a lot of people believe that Orishas are over your head. That's an impossible situation. It's not true. That's another misnomer. It does not exist. The only thing that has your mind is your Ori. Now they can assist you, and there's a lot of different Orishas that may be heavily connected to the Odu you receive, but they're not over your head. They're not governing your head. They're coming to assist you at times. There's times that they will not be there to assist you. It's Odu. This is not just Baba Makanjuola speaking. If you want to know more about what this looks like, you need to go join powerofori.com and get some more of this information and training, because I don't speak just because I want to speak. I speak because I'm talking about an Odu. Everything I say comes from Odu. For me, at this point, at this stage of the game, if someone can't show me the Odu, don't talk to me, because you're making something up. I'm about the Odu. What does that look like Odu-wise? I've seen way too many people talking with nothing to back it up. I know a whole lot more than I started off knowing now. I do give thanks to the people who were patiently helping me in the beginning. because I know I was a mess to deal with in the beginning, honestly speaking. But at the same time, this whole structure of what we call Ifa in the diaspora, again, I'm speaking, needs to improve. It was one particular lady that I saw on YouTube yesterday. I was just disgusted. I was like, what is this woman talking about? Like, she is half dressed, chest all out, leggings on. She dancing, twerking in the kitchen. House look like a mess in the background. She cussing and calling people B's and H's and N-words and everything. Telling people what she ain't gonna do. Like, I'm gonna tell you, and people like that again are like, that is not Ifa. If you are the same person, hanging around the same people, doing the same things, eating the same food, you've been duped. Period. And just because you got your little Ifa starter kit called your warrior packages ain't gonna save you. Your actions will catch up with you. And one thing is Ifa is a master of, is holding your feet to the fire for what you said you want to do. And it will come. Your chance will come to where you can stand in the mirror and stand up to what you claim you want to be. But you cannot be the same person. If you're the same person you were when you got initiated, or even your hand of Ifa, if you're the same person after that, you must ask yourself some questions if you're going to be honest with yourself and really be about this Ifa walk. Why haven't I changed? And the answer is, I guarantee you, and if you have any good teachers around you, they're going to tell you the same thing. The answer is in your Ori. Period. You need to do work with that Ori. You need to do more Iboris with that Ori. You need to spend more time identifying things in your Ori that causes you the pain, that makes you react the way you do. You need to do more Ori work over, I'm going to say this, over Dafa Ebo work even. Now, if it's bad for you and it's something really bad you just can't see changing in the nearest future, then yes, you may need some Ebo work to help aid you at the times you fall short. But the main work is going to exist between your ears. I guarantee you. And if you have anybody worth their salt teaching you, guiding you, a godparent, whatever you call it, your Aluo, whatever you call them, your Ianifa, whatever you call them, anybody worth their salt that understands this stuff for real will tell you you need to go sit your butt down somewhere, do some meditation, go into your mind and identify these things in your mind that are causing these reactions and the experiences that other people are having of you. You need to go in your mind and fix them. Remove them, fix them, repair them, and replace them with something that's more beneficial to you, first and foremost, and the world. The Orishas are not the new Jesus. This miracle falling from the sky and something coming to save you, do it for you, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So stop paying all this money for all these ebos. Stop paying all this money for all these initiations. Stop walking around with these elekes like they're going to save your life. Stop all of this madness. It's not reality. You have been lied to. Now, I propose an option for you. I'm not here to just bring you this type of news and leave you with this type of news. If you want to learn more about what I'm talking about, I'm going to lead you over to powerofori.com. Go over to powerofori.com. Subscribe. All I'm asking at this point is to subscribe to the page. And if you subscribe to the page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a free consultation with me personally, and let's sit down and let's discuss your goals in this Ifa spiritual walk. I'm not trying to be your godparent. I'm not trying to take you away from your godparent. That is not my goal. You can stay where you at and still do this Ori work. I'm not an elay. I'm not none of that. I just teach people about Ori and their mind. That's it. You can stay where you are. But if you are looking to get more detailed information, I'm talking Odu-wise, not just my perspective, Odu-wise. We have a series of classes called Power of Ori University. It's over 28 hours of training that you can take, and I will make sure you're in it and receive it if this is what your Ori is calling you to do. But at bare minimum, let's sit down 30 minutes and let's talk about what your goals are. And if it makes sense after that, let's see where we go. But if not, you get a free 30-minute consultation. Right? You can't beat that. All right? You have nothing but time to offer here. Invest it. Make the sacrifice. All right? I am Baba Makanjuola. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for watching. This has been a great discussion. I hope that you get something from this and take something away from this. I pray humbly that it blesses you in your life. I know Ori has blessed my life tremendously. And it doesn't mean you're not going to have your ups and downs, because I have my ups and downs. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, I'm dealing with some things as we speak right now, but I understand that it's something that's purging from my Ori that needs to go. And once I get it done, I will be able to see the clouds and the blue skies clearer. It's a process with everything, but I'm not looking for something to come save me. Only I can save me. Only I can make the decision to do something different, to have a different experience. I know it sounds easier said than done, but it is what it is. That is the process, and that is what Ifa truly is about. Bless you all. I look forward to seeing you on the next Change Your Mind. All right? You know we're going to keep them coming. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your efforts. Again, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube page, and please don't forget to go over to powerofori.com. Subscribe so you can get your free consultation. Peace and blessings. Have any Ray Day. I shizzle to all. I am Baba Makanjuola, sounding off. Ashe.